A member of the privileged population. Mental disorders account for nearly one-half of the disease burden for young adults in the United States. Imagine going to college fresh out of high school. You know what you want to major in, you move out, and you're excited to continue your education. Many people call me crazy for jumping right into it. No gap year, no saving up, were familiar questions asked to me. College was always in the cards for me. I knew that I would need it not only to have a good job, but to also pursue my dreams. However, I began to notice changes in my academic performance around my sophomore year of high school, and my mental health began its decline. Without realizing it, I was part of the one-half of young adults who would be burdened with a mental disorder. Most lifetime mental disorders have their first onset by the age of 24. A fact that is unnerving, seeing how this is in that exciting time frame from making that transition from high school to college. So how does school affect mental health? More importantly, how does college affect mental health? As I began the search for my answer, I needed to be real. I needed to get raw with myself. The real reason I wanted to write this is because my grades are bad and school took a toll when my mental health got bad, and still does when it flares up. There are a lot of factors that contribute to my poor mental health. Knowing this and understanding this are two very different things. Was I just lazy? Am I using mental health as a crutch? Is this something I can overcome? Are these feelings normal? All of these questions I wanted to know the answer to. When starting this paper, I was amazed to find so many things on college and mental health. And it wasn't very long until the term college mental health crisis started popping up all over my computer screen. In a TED Talk I found online, Dr. Tim Bono mentioned 66% of students reported feeling overwhelming anxiety, and 46% reporting feeling so depressed they could not function. Well, according to the TED Talk, some of these mental issues I am struggling with are in fact considered normal. 66% is an alarming number of people, and nearly half of them, like me, are also being crippled by depression. I think normal is an understatement when you look at those numbers. One thing is for sure, I definitely am not alone. I was told by college administrators, previous college students, family, social media, and even my college advisor what it was going to be like. Hard, grueling, yet fun and exciting. People were constantly telling me, "Wow, you're so brave for going to school so fast. I wish I did what you did. You're so lucky." Something I now view as my false reality. College students are often viewed as a privileged population, but they are not immune to the suffering and disability associated with mental disorders. This is the world's false reality. I wasn't lucky, brave, or rich. I know that if I stopped going to school, I would never be able to bring myself to come back. I took the dive headfirst into student debt, stress, and workload. Already this far in, I was shocked to see that most research done with mental health in regards to college students was about how mental health affects academic success and vice versa. On average, as many as 1/3 of freshmen do not return for their sophomore year, as stated by the authors of Relationships Between Academic Success and Health and Illness in College Students article. Not shocking news to me. My first semester started out with me actually doing my work on time, asking for help instead of ignoring it, and staying on top of myself. Spoiler alert, this didn't last long. Maybe 3 weeks in, I already considered dropping out. The rush was over. That false reality really began to take shape. Lingering in the back of my mind was regret. I don't think I belong here anymore. That sophomore year started to look like a fantasy. Within a month of my first semester, my grades began to slip in 3 classes: Communications 1020, 1025, and Psychology 1010. I knew this would happen because they were my only online classes. I have such a hard time online. Thanks COVID for teaching me this. I tried so hard every second of every day to try and get the grades up. Nothing worked. Even though screen time has been identified as a health risk among college students, I went on social media and saw other students having fun and living their best lives. Though I knew it was fake, I wanted that too. I started to spend way too long on social media, and the fall down the rabbit hole continued to worsen. I cry almost every day, I hate going to my job, and I sleep excessively. My depression was getting the best of me. Being a first-generation student, no one in my family could relate, and the one who could relate experienced college differently than I am. Also, a nagging thought my depression kept telling me was that I don't want to burden them with something I chose to do. My problems aren't theirs, they have their own problems going on. While this is not true, and I do have people I could reach out to, depression usually makes a compelling case otherwise. In a 2008 National College Health Assessment, more than 1 in 3 undergraduates reported feeling so depressed it was difficult to function. And in a study of 26,000 students in 2006, 6% of undergraduates and 4% of graduates reported having seriously considered suicide within the previous 12 months. Those numbers are shocking to me. I had no idea how common these problems really were, and as I continued reading, I found in another part of one article that only 24% of students are receiving treatment who are actually diagnosed with depression. That being said, I am sad to report that I am part of the 76% that have gone undiagnosed. It is just not a set I'm ready to take yet. This is also one of the reasons this paper is important to me. The authors of Mental Health and Success in College said that we find co-occurring depression and anxiety are associated with lower GPA, and we also find that symptoms of eating disorders are associated with lower GPA. Now, it doesn't take a scholarly article to understand that depressive symptoms can affect academic studies and social lives. However, these symptoms are not well known. These symptoms include reduced interest or pleasure in usual activities, sleep disturbances, reduced energy, difficulty concentrating or making decisions, restlessness or slowing movement, suicidal thoughts, and decreased interest in investing in the future. Well, I'm screwed. I may not have all of these, but I have enough of them. Now what? I'm anxious, angry, and worse? Don't want to continue. My search hasn't expanded far. In fact, I have more questions than I do answers. I just don't understand. I don't understand why I'm failing. Well, actually, I do. And what am I supposed to do now? In our research, we found that common barriers include a lack of perceived need for help, being unaware of services or insurance coverage, and skepticism about treatment effectiveness. After reading this, I decided to do a quick search on why people don't ask for help. The answer to this question was, another fear is being perceived as needy. Some people are also afraid that they will be shunned or rejected if they ask for help. We have already touched on the needy aspect, but let's talk about fear, because the fear is real. I already talked about how I am part of the 76% that is undiagnosed, and I myself don't understand the source of the fear, but I do know that it is real. Okay, so if fear, unawareness, and skepticism are the main reasons, why haven't we tried to reverse it? Why not talk about it more openly and discuss the resources that are available? Why don't we have a way to just try it out and prove ourselves wrong? Why is it scary? There are still too many questions and not enough clear answers. Well, maybe one answer. That false reality. It is scary, because it's not like we thought it would be or were told it would be. I think the biggest barrier is how do we let people know that it's okay to be not okay. I mean, look how common these disorders really are. There needs to be a way to remove the fear and stigma. Eisenberg explains that more than 65% of American high school graduates attend post-secondary education. I'm a part of that percent, yes, but now I want to be part of a percent that changes the narrative. I want the college student mental health crisis to change. I want to help change the perception that struggling and receiving mental health and receiving help mentally should be looked down upon, where persevering is talked about more than the struggle. My personal findings were that struggling with mental health may forecast my overall success in school, but not in my true reality. Now that the false reality of being a member of this privileged population has shown its true colors, you may be asking, how does college affect mental health? I don't think college per se has negative or positive effects on mental health. All I know is this. There is a college student mental health crisis. There is a correlation between mental disorders and lower GPA, and the undergraduates make up the higher percent in studies that have been done. Finding the results of different tests while researching really opened my eyes to the extent of hardship faced by students. I dove deep in what I could find and created more questions that I will need to research. I never thought that my first semester could pack this punch, but it did. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to continue my journey and see where it leads. I know that I'm not the only one struggling, that someone else is feeling just as I am in this very moment, and I know that dedication has gotten me this far. I have realized through this paper that this is bigger than just me, and I want to help the thousands of others out there fighting the same fight. It also made me aware of my struggle and my need to seek help. Maybe if I had done that sooner, I wouldn't have cried every day, failed 3 classes, and almost quit. If you are struggling either academically, mentally, physically, or emotionally, please do not wait like I did. Talk to your teachers, talk to on-campus help, or even reach out to professionals. That video you just watched was the reading of my 6-page final personal narrative essay on my English 1010 class. If you have no idea who I am, hi, I am Mackenzie, and I want to start reading more of my schoolworks on my channel. I have a couple of speeches that I did for my communications class, and I also gave a commencement speech at my high school graduation. This paper really impacted my life, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. If you enjoyed, please like, and if you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel. See you guys.